Hello my friends and welcome to the Imagine Crafts YouTube channel. Katie here, and today I'm going to show you how you can make this super simple 4th of July card. Let's jump in. So I'm actually going to be using the Danube blue fireworks and the Ladybug fireworks. I think I said that right with the blue. And I've got some Imagine Brushstix. These are like a dense foam applicator tip, and they're in a stick form. Perfect for the technique we're going to be using. I show you both the Versamagic Cloud White and the Memento Luxe in Wedding Dress. I am just going to use the Memento Luxe Wedding Dress. I'm going to be using some Tim Holtz watercolor paper, but I'm trying to show you the texture on the that watercolor paper. We're going to use the back side because it's smoother. I've got some stamps from Simon Says Stamp. It's called the Basic Stripes. I've got the Concord 9th New and Notable. And then the Tiny Star background stamp is from Hero Arts. So here I'm just speeding this. I'm going to start to speed all of this up. This is a longer video than I normally do, but there is several steps. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spritz one of the panels with the Danube blue firework spray. And I really want this to be nice and dark. So I do apply quite a bit of spritz on there to get everything covered, and then I'll set that off to dry. And the ink will come off with, you know, warm soap and water, and I just use like the scrubby side of my sponge to scrub it off. Now I'm coming in with another panel and doing the Ladybug firework spray, and these are what they look like before I set them off to dry. I've got a couple pieces of sticky grid in my Misty because I need to have the whole area exposed with no magnets. I do have my creative corners so that I can have, you know, some alignment with my panel. And now I'm going to ink up in the wedding dress. Now on the Basic Stripe stamp set, there is one stamp that has 3 skinny strips. Now, at the end, I'll put a picture of my inspiration for this card. It actually was for some pattern paper that I saw online, and I wanted to try and replicate it. So here I'm just going through, and I'm going to make like a starburst, sunburst ray with this one stamp. And so I'm going to show you 3, and then I'll jump to the end of the stamping. And you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about, where, you know, it just kind of fans out from the bottom of the cardstock. And then we'll come in and use our Brushstix to add more of the Memento Luxe Wedding Dress to create that firework look that you saw at the beginning of the video. So here, just doing the 3rd stamp, and then I'm going to come in, and this is my last stamping. It's pretty repetitive. So here I've sped this up 3.5 times, maybe 4 times, because I wanted you to see it, but it takes some time. And so I literally am just going between there's 3 different brush sticks that come in this pack, and we've got a brush tip, a chisel tip, and a dome tip. So I'm going back and forth between the brush tip and the chisel tip because the chisel tip obviously has a nice straight edge, which will give me some nice straight lines, you know, to be able to get that long stroke. And then the pointed, which is the brush tip, it's more of a pointed tip, also gives me that flexibility of having a pointed tip. Now with the stamp that had the 3 lines, I would go through with the Brushstix and I blend that out with additional wedding dress ink, just so everything looks more blended. And I'm going to have a little schmutz come up where it, you know, blotches in. But what's great about this is that you just, you know, blend it in and nobody will be any of the wiser, because that's how it's supposed to look. And so at the bottom, I just keep filling in, and at the bottom I'm going to add quite a bit more of the wedding dress to concentrate, like it's the bottom half of the center of a firework going off. And then once I get done with all the inking here, I'm going to take some of the Brilliance in, I'm trying to think, I think it's the Platinum. Let me see. So this is the star, the tiny stars background, and then I use the Platinum Planet in Brilliance to ink up that stamp, and then I'm going to put the blended panel with the firework look over the top of that. Set that off to the side to dry for a little bit. Now I decided I wanted to deepen this up a little bit, so I come in with the Memento Paris Dusk and just a blender brush and add in some, some darker blues. Now I went with a blender brush because it's going to give a softer look and not quite as dark. I certainly could have gone darker, but I also had to be careful because as you're blending, you are going to blend more of that wedding dress and the Brilliance ink that we put on top of everything. So once I get done with the Paris Dusk, I find that I need a little bit more blue. So I come in with the Versafine Clair and Twilight, and I just come around the panel and deepen up those colors just to let that white pigment ink stand out just a little bit more. Now, I don't normally do 4th of July cards, but I really like this pattern paper, and I wanted to try and replicate it. And I think I did a pretty good job. It's not perfect, obviously, because it's not pattern paper, but and the vibrancy that you get from pattern paper, but I thought it came out pretty good. So the happy that you see there in the edge of the screen is a Mama Elephant die that I cut out 3 times with some white cardstock and layered that up so it's got a little bit of dimension. The number 4 there is from that panel that's underneath our firework panel. That's the one that we did in the Ladybug firework spray. So I die cut the number 4 out of that with my Concord and 9th new and notable die set. And now I'm using the TH that's in the new and notable stamp set to stamp on some vellum so it'll say Happy 4th of July. And I combined a couple different stamp sets to get this. So the of comes from a honeybee stamp set, and the word July comes from another Concord and 9th set called Season Turnabouts. That's a Turnabout stamp set. And so I do heat set this. I stamped with the Delicata in black shimmer. I thought about doing the Platinum Planet, but it was just a little too light on the vellum, and I was worried that it wasn't going to show up, on the panel. So here I'm just adding some foam tape to pop our firework panel up, and right there at the top of the screen you see I die cut out, you can sort of see it, the number 4, and that's our Ladybug firework spray. Now the Danube blue panel, I die cut that out with the Cat Scrappiness distressed edge rectangle dies. Now here I'm adding my on point glue, and if I had one thing to do over with this card, I would have added that on point glue all on the back, because it does seep, on inside where you can see it. And it just would have looked better. You wouldn't have had that kind of halo effect that you see there under the 4th and the TH. You wouldn't have that halo effect if I had just put the on point glue through the whole thing. But that's going to wrap up the card for me today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next video.